The Ottoman Empire. Indicator. Contextualize historical effects of the expansion of the Turks and Mongols on Europe and Asia. Objectives. Students will be able to contextualize how Southeast Europe and Southwest Asia became unified under the Ottoman Empire. Students will be able to explain the government of the Ottoman Empire as well. Essential questions. How do new ideas change the way people live? Guiding questions. How did Islam influence government in the Ottoman Empire? In the Muslim world, the Abbasids lost ascendancy, the Ottoman Turks gained power and influence, and the Moors were pushed out of Spain because of the Crusades. The Turks expanded across Asia, North Africa, and much of the Byzantine Empire. These pastoralists conquered vast amounts of territory using tactics based on their exceptional archery skills on horseback. The Turks created the Ottoman Empire and established Istanbul, their capital. The Ottoman Empire was created by Turkish tribes in Anatolia. They grew out to be one of the most powerful states in the world during the 15th and 16th centuries. The Ottoman period spanned more than 600 years and came to an end only in 1922, when it was replaced by the Turkish Republic and various successor states in southeastern Europe and the Middle East. That means the Ottoman Empire lasted for an incredibly long time, from the late medieval period until the First World War. The empire was named after its founder, Osman I. Osman was born in 1258 in Anatolia, or Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey. His people were the Turks, who were Muslim, followers of Islam. Osman led a group of Turks against the Byzantines, who were Christians. He and the leaders who followed him took over many Byzantine territories. In 1453, the Ottomans captured Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. They renamed the city Istanbul and made it their own capital. Their government was influenced by the religion of Islam. Islam was incorporated into their state structure, so their religious and political beliefs were mixed together. This helped unite the people of the empire because they all had the same Islamic ideology. Their empire kept surviving and carrying on because the subjects were inspired by their same belief in Islam. They also were able to increase their territory by using the warrior code known as the jihad, which translates into holy war. This term helped their army expand their territory. Nevertheless, there's many misconceptions about jihad. Jihad simply means to struggle or defending Islam as well, not killing innocent people. The Sultan also claimed to be a caliph, the successor of the Prophet Muhammad, and thus the religious leader of all Muslims. The Ottoman Sultan was the head of all Muslims, like the Roman Catholics believe the Pope is with Christians. An efficient civil service ran the administration, headed by the chief minister called the Grand Vizier, with other ministers and scribes. The ulama were the religious scholars who were experts in Sharia law. Religion played a much more important role in the Ottoman Empire. Lawyers were religious teachers, and the law was Sharia law. The different non-Muslim religious communities inside the Ottoman Empire were called millets. They were given a great deal of independence, including the right to have their own religion and leaders, and to collect their own taxes. Christian and Jewish people were not persecuted severely compared to other groups in the Ottoman Empire. Other religions were banned, especially the polytheistic ones. They only allowed Christianity and Judaism to exist, but they had to pay a jizya, a tax that served as an incentive to convert people to Islam. The Ottoman Empire reached its peak of its power between the 1480s and the 1560s. In 1517, the Ottomans took control of Mecca and Medina, the holiest cities of Islam. After these conquests, the Ottoman ruler or sultan was seen as the leader of Islam. Suleiman I, the sultan from 1520 to 1566, expanded the empire further. During his reign, the Ottoman Empire stretched from Hungary to the Persian Gulf. Its lands also included Egypt and the coast of North Africa. The political structure of the Ottoman Empire rested on the principle of absolute authority with the monarch. Their monarch was their sultan. The sultan was supposed to guarantee justice, and the sultan was the protector of Islam. There was a belief that if the sultan did not have absolute power, that they would be dependent on others, which would lead to corruption. The sultan was the religious and political leader. There was a strict hierarchy, and your rank had to be earned. Military service helped advance someone in the rankings. With the expansion of the empire, more administration positions were needed and created divisions of powers. There were two divisions, the military administration and the civil administration. The highest position in Islam, caliphate, was claimed by the sultan. Their government was highly centralized. Generally, bureaucrats and religious scholars and military officials had the greatest social power. Warrior aristocrats, who were mostly Muslim, benefited from tax exemptions. The rest of society was merchants, farmers, and seafarers. Though they had the least official power, they powered the engine of the empire. They were the main producer of goods and revenues through taxes. Hierarchy was important, but there was a lot of overlaps. Commoners could be wealthy. People also were able to move across groups or gain social power. Merit was often rewarded, regardless of wealth, lineage, or social status. In fact, enslaved people in the Ottoman military often rose through the ranks. Once a diminutive kingdom with a homogeneous culture, it gradually started to espouse a form of synchronism between traditional Islam mixed with both pagan Turkish shamanism and Christianity. The monastic Muslims, dervishes, were often considered heretics in other Islamic domains, however, took the center stage in the Ottoman military. Muslims populating the rural regions bordering the Byzantine Empire were the impetus why the Ottomans experienced such a cultural fusion, different from the previous Islamic caliphate. The official Ottoman policies also tended to mirror this dynamic social scope, where the rulers were more sympathetic to the local populations than the previous overlords. Many native Orthodox Christians were especially supportive of this Ottoman system, given their distaste for the European Catholic Church that ravaged their lands in the preceding century.